Hi everybody, this is a short video I'm going to do, which is a review on the Zoom H1 handy recorder, this little guy. Um, Interestingly, I just did my first unboxing video of this, and in looking at it, I realized there are a lot of things that I forgot to mention. So I'm starting all over. Right, so this is a Zoom H1. It's the second recorder that I have like this. I have a Tascam as well. I'm not sure of the actual product number, but it's a Tascam that includes two XLR inputs um, and has a different configuration with the microphones, which we'll get into, and a much more complicated interface, which we'll get into as well. So, first of all, the sound quality. This actually sounds really, really good. It's recording to, I think it's 48 kilohertz, 96 kilohertz. It goes up. It's very, very high quality um, sound that you get from it. The inputs are pretty much from these onboard mics, which cannot be moved. So they're in an XY configuration right now. If they were able to move to, I think what it's called is a YZ, it would be great for stereo sound, nice wide sound, and then you can close them in like this, and they'll be great to focus to one position, which is great for an interview. And if you're doing a video and interview, this would be a fantastic recorder for it. So the sound quality is great. The microphones, the inputs, they sound great, no question about it. There are really useful features on this for something that costs $130 in Canada. There's a record function button light that comes on when it's in use, and there's a peak button as well, peak light as well. So it'll let you know if you're too hot. You also have very, very useful metering. I'm gonna just turn it on, and you're gonna see. There it is. It's on, and you're already metering, so you can tell how loud your signal is. And let's try the peak, right? So there we go. So it's peaking, and it's letting me know it's peaking. It's actually very good. You can enter the date and time on this thing. You can enter the recording format that you like. So you can go to WAV or MP3, and you can go to the sampling rate that you want. I think mine is set at 48 16-bit, which is fine. You have a lot of time that you can record on this. There's a little mini, what is it, a micro SD card, and you have nearly 3 hours of record time, so it's great. Functionality, just one button, you just hit this guy, and I'm recording, and you hit this guy, and I'm done recording, and that's it. Functions on the side, very useful, very handy. USB input, and I'm assuming it's an output as well, so you can get your audio off of the unit. There's a slider or rocker that will turn the machine on or off. There it goes. It's off. You can get past that by just pushing this into the hold position, and it won't shut off. It'll also prevent you from touching any of the other buttons and doing something in error. Something in error would be the very next button. This is a trash can. So if you've done a recording and you don't want it, you just hit the trash can, and there it is, gone. You can do your search functions, left and right, back and forth. You can play and you can pause recorded stuff. Very useful again. Your input levels are here. It's very rudimentary, but based on what we saw with how the mics perform, I don't think this is something that we need to worry about. This is great enough as it is. And there's also a little bit of a 1/4-inch jack, well, not a quarter, mini input for an external mic. So I guess this would be great for maybe a lav or an output from a wireless, maybe, I don't know. So that's useful. The other side, you have your line out, which is your headphone to monitor. You have your volume of how loud you want to monitor, and you have the port for your micro SD card. It's like the size of the card that you'd get in your cell phone. Along with the case, you got one of these. So you can just slip that in and stick it into your computer, and you can get your audio off of it that way. I have not tested it yet, but there's a little speaker at the bottom of it, so you can play back your audio. So maybe we should do that now. Maybe we should just do a test recording and say test 1 2 1 2, and then say play. So the speaker works fine. It's great for you to play back, I guess, for a client to hear. You, of course, would have your own headphone out so you could monitor, right? Um, this is great for the intended use that I have, which is for audio for interviews. I do DSLR type video interviews, and this would be great for it. Now, the good thing is you have built-in microphones, so it's very handy. You just put it in position and you say go, and that's it. The bad thing is these are built-in, which means that you get handling noise. So you have to be careful that you don't set this up and keep touching it, because it's going to come through on your audio, and you hear it with the headphones on. You'll hear the handling noise. Um, if you set it in position, or if you use the screw and set it on top of the camera, maybe in a cold shoe mount, it'll be fine, but be careful of the handling noise. To help with some of the noise that comes in, there are these functions on the back end. So there's a low cut filter, which takes care of some of the low frequency noise, rumbling, air conditioned units, that type of thing. You have an audio level, which can go on or off. So this acts like maybe a compressor expander. So it'll boost recording where needed, and it will probably reduce it where needed if it's too noisy. So you can put that on or off as well. And you also have a selector for the type of recording format you'd like, WAV or MP3, MP3 being compressed audio. Remember, you can use this auto level, or you can use the input level here. You can manually ride this if you'd like, so that you don't have those computer controlled rise and falls in your audio. You can choose to do it manually on your own, this way. And yeah, so that's pretty much this unit here. I paid 130 Canadian at Long and McQuaid for this unit, and based on what I've seen in terms of its functionality, this seems like a very handy recorder. I don't think it should be a primary recorder. I think it should be one that you have together with something else. But this is a great unit if it's the only one you can afford, or it's a tight squeeze and you just need one quickly. This is a great one to turn to, and I'm almost certain, because it's so easy to use and its construction is so simple, that it will be something that will not give a lot of trouble, will not be difficult to understand. You won't spend a lot of time on a shoot trying to figure out where the functions are and what folders they're buried in. Unlike the Tascam, there are a few layers that you can go through. Unlike the Tascam, you have to plug it in, or you go through 4 of these little batteries very quickly. This guy has 1 battery, and I'm sure it's gonna not be like a monster in terms of burning this thing out quickly. But yeah, based on what we've seen here, if you are interested in clean digital audio, particularly for interviews and that type of thing, maybe you're a journalist or DSLR recorder with lots of interviews being done, that type of thing, this is great. It's very inexpensive, and it's something that you should consider getting. Zoom H1, yeah, it's a good product.